Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
Sarah, an American woman, walked home alone in Shanghai. It was very late, past 3 in the morning, but she felt safe. This was a new feeling for her. Back in Los Angeles, where she used to live, she would never walk alone at night. She always felt worried about her safety. She would hold her keys tightly and look around for danger. She always felt a need to be careful. In Shanghai, Sarah found she did not have this constant fear. After some time, she realized she could truly relax when she was out alone on the streets. This experience shows a big and important question. What does freedom truly mean? In Western countries, people often talk about freedom of speech or political choices. They often see China as a place with many rules and less personal freedom in these areas. However, many people who live in China, both Chinese citizens and people from other countries, experience a different kind of freedom. They feel free from the fear of crime. They feel a sense of safety that is sometimes missing in Western cities. This book will explore this idea, which we call the freedom paradox. It asks if freedom is mostly about freedom from fear, or if it is about freedom to speak your mind. Is it freedom to start a business very quickly, or freedom from the government knowing what you do? We will look closely at how daily life works in China. We will compare these experiences with life in Western countries. This book does not aim to say one system is better than another. Instead, it helps us understand that freedom can have different meanings for different people. We will see how certain freedoms might be traded for others. For example, people might have less privacy but feel much safer. This book will explore these different ideas of freedom and what they could mean for societies around the world. 2. A safe place. Chinese cities have very low crime rates, different from many Western cities. In 2024, China had a very low murder rate, only 0.46 murders for every 100,000 people. The United States had 5.7 murders for the same number of people. Big Chinese cities feel very safe. Places like Beijing score much higher on safety rankings than many American cities. Because of this safety, people feel relaxed. Women can walk alone at night without fear. Children play by themselves in public parks. Older people exercise early in the morning in spaces that might be unsafe in Western cities. People sometimes leave laptops in cafes for hours. This feeling of personal safety deeply changes daily life. One big reason for this safety is the government's large surveillance system. By 2018, China had about 200 million cameras installed. That is like one camera for every 7 people. These are not simple cameras. They use facial recognition and artificial intelligence to watch public places all the time. This system helps the police find criminals quickly. For example, in Hong Kong, new cameras helped solve 90% of serious crimes, like murder and robbery, in just 2 days. People know the cameras are always watching. If someone commits a crime outside, they will almost certainly be caught. This makes people much less likely to commit crimes. The government calls this social management. Also, gun ownership is almost impossible for regular people, which removes a major type of violent crime. Drug crime is also kept low. But this high safety has a cost. The same cameras that stop street crime also watch what people say and do. They can track people who speak against the government or break social rules. So citizens give up some personal privacy. They trade their anonymity and some personal freedom for feeling safe from crime every day. Many people in China, including foreign residents, think this trade-off is worth it. They prefer physical safety and a calm daily life, even with less privacy in public. They value being able to walk home safely at any time more than having full anonymity. This shows a different idea of freedom, one that puts physical security above privacy rights. 3. Fast business. China's economy moves very fast. This is clear in cities like Shenzhen. Shenzhen is a big city for new technology and business. One entrepreneur, James Liu, told a story about how fast things happen there. He had an idea for a new product on a Monday. By Wednesday, he had 3 test models. By Friday, he was talking to a factory to start making them. In many Western countries, this process can take many months and cost much more money. Shenzhen is sometimes called China's Silicon Valley. It has many companies close together. Every day, about 1,000 new businesses start there. This means it is easy to find everything needed to make new products, often on the same street. This helps businesses move from a new idea to a real product very quickly. People say that 1 week in Shenzhen is like 1 month in places like Silicon Valley in the United States. Government also helps with this speed. Local governments give money to new companies. They help with office rent and housing. It is also fast to get the right papers to start a business. Rules are clear and quick. For example, in some Western countries, it can take 1.5 years to get environmental approval for a factory. In Shenzhen, it can take only 6 to 8 weeks. This is not about having no rules, but about having rules that work very efficiently. This speed is also seen in how China builds big projects. Since 2007, China has built more than 25,000 kilometers of high-speed train tracks. This is more than all other countries combined. These projects are built very fast. For instance, the high-speed train line between Beijing and Shanghai is very long, over 1,300 kilometers. It was finished in just 3 years. In places like California, a similar train project was planned in 2008. But it still does not have even one part working, even after a lot of money was spent. This shows how quickly China can build big things. This fast economic growth gives businesses a special kind of freedom to build and innovate quickly. But this speed comes with a cost. Sometimes rules for the environment are not as strict as in other countries. Also, workers' rights, while getting better, are not always as strong as international standards. Sometimes people's homes must move quickly for new projects without much discussion or payment. The government's ability to make decisions fast means there is less time for public debate, environmental checks, or worker protections. This fast business freedom is linked to fewer political freedoms. 4. An easy life. Imagine a morning in Beijing. Rachel Kim, a software engineer, starts her day. She does not use cash or a credit card. She uses one app on her phone. With WeChat Pay, she buys breakfast from a street seller. She adds money to her subway card. During her trip, she pays her house bills. She orders lunch for her office. She books a doctor's visit. She sends money to her mother. She plans her evening grocery delivery. She does all this with one easy-to-use system. This easy digital system shows a new kind of freedom. It removes many small daily problems. These problems might seem small, but together they take a lot of time and thought. For many people in China, this makes daily life much better. It makes older systems in other countries seem slow and complex. The secret to this convenience is China's super apps. WeChat Pay and Alipay are the main ones. They handle most mobile payments in the country. But they are much more than just payment apps. They are full systems for managing life. WeChat Pay has social messages, mobile payments, and government services. It also includes booking doctors, transport, and food delivery. All these functions are in one app. A consultant named Dr. Sarah Chen explains the difference. In Western countries, people use many different apps for different things. One app for banking, one for social media, one for government, one for shopping. Each app has its own design and rules. In China, these apps were built differently. They put all services together from the start. This makes things very easy. In other countries, someone might use many apps to do what Rachel Kim did in her morning. But Chinese users stay in one system. The system remembers what they like. It fills in forms for them. It shares information between different services smoothly. This easy way of life also changes how cities work. China is fast becoming a cashless society. More than 90% of money changes hands digitally in cities. Street sellers, taxi drivers, and even people without homes accept mobile payments. They use QR codes. This makes buying small things very simple and quick. You do not need coins or cards. For example, people can buy a bottle of water or share a meal bill without any physical money. This is very fast. Chinese people say these digital payments are 60 to 70% faster than old ways. This also helps very small businesses. They can accept payments for tiny amounts without problems. The government also uses these platforms. People can renew their licenses, pay taxes, and get social help. They can talk to government offices through the same apps they use for shopping and social life. However, this great convenience has a cost. All this smooth service needs a lot of personal information. Companies and the government collect huge amounts of data. This means that while daily tasks are easy, there is less privacy. Every action on these apps adds to a big personal record. So, People trade some privacy for a very easy and convenient daily life. 5. The price of order. In China, the feeling of order and convenience comes with a cost. While daily life might feel safe and efficient, certain freedoms are missing. One big difference is the strict control over information. The internet in China is closely monitored by the government. There is a system known as the Great Firewall that blocks access to many websites and apps from outside the country. This means people cannot always get information freely or share their ideas online. News and social media content are often censored. This control over information limits freedom of the press and the ability to express opinions openly. People also experience a lack of political freedom. Unlike in many Western countries, citizens do not have the same rights to choose their leaders or to protest government decisions. Freedom of speech, where people can openly criticize the government, is also restricted. This means that challenging authority can lead to negative consequences. Another example of this control is the social credit system. This system monitors people's actions and behaviors. If someone follows rules, like paying bills on time, their social credit score might be good. A good score can offer benefits, such as better services. But if someone breaks rules or does things the government does not approve of, their score can go down. A low score can make daily life difficult, affecting things like buying train tickets or getting a loan. It is used to encourage specific behaviors and punish others. These are the direct costs for the safety and convenience discussed earlier. The widespread surveillance cameras that help keep streets safe also monitor people for other purposes. The speed of business and new construction sometimes means less strict environmental rules or worker protections. The easy digital life, with its many super apps, collects large amounts of personal data. This data is used by companies and the government. So, for the benefits of order and a smooth daily life, people in China give up many personal and political freedoms. This shows a different understanding of what freedom means. 6. A different way to think. China's way of building society comes from a long history. For many hundreds of years, Chinese culture has thought about the group or community first. The good of all people is often more important than the rights of just one person. This is different from how many Western countries think, where individual freedom is often number one. The Chinese government works towards a goal called a harmonious society. This means a society where people live together peacefully and things work well. To reach this goal, the government believes it needs to have strong control and keep order. This idea comes from the old values, where stability and agreement were very important for a strong country. In recent years, this system has brought big changes to China. People have seen great economic growth. Many citizens' lives have become better with new jobs and more money. Cities are safer, and new buildings and fast trains have changed the country quickly. This quick progress and feeling of safety make many people accept the government's way. They see that giving up some personal privacy, like being watched by cameras, brings freedom from crime. Giving up some freedom of speech helps the country move fast and avoid arguments that could slow down progress. For them, the grand bargain is clear. They trade some individual rights for a stable, safe, and rich society. This different way of thinking shows that freedom can mean many things. For some, freedom from fear or freedom to have a better life is more important than other kinds of freedom. This understanding helps explain why people are happy to use advanced apps that collect a lot of their data, or why new infrastructure projects are built so quickly. It is all part of a larger plan to benefit the whole community, even if it means some people have less individual choice. This perspective is key to understanding China's unique path. 7. Lessons for other countries. China's system and Western democracies work in different ways. Western countries often focus on individual rights and freedom of speech. China, however, puts more focus on group order and economic growth, sometimes with more government control over people's lives. Understanding these differences is important for all nations. There are things other countries can learn from China's path. For example, China is very good at building new roads, bridges, and high-speed trains quickly. Its large, high-speed rail network connects many cities with remarkable speed. This shows how fast big projects can happen when there is clear decision-making. Also, China uses technology to make daily life very easy. Super apps combine payments, messaging, and many services into one place, making life convenient and efficient for people. This fast way of working also helps businesses grow very quickly, especially in new technologies. However, there are also clear warnings. China's way of keeping order uses many cameras and advanced technology to watch its people closely. This means people have less privacy, as their movements and online actions are often monitored. It also means less freedom to speak freely or question the government. There is strict control over what people can read or say on the internet. The social credit system, which gives or takes away points based on behavior, shows how much the government can influence citizens' daily lives. These methods of control come at a high cost to personal liberty. The world now sees two different ideas for how a society can work. One idea values individual freedom, even if it sometimes means slower progress or more debate. The other idea values order and fast economic development, even if it means less personal freedom and privacy. Countries around the world must think carefully about these differences. They need to decide what kind of freedom is most important for their people and what balance they want. This choice will shape the future for many nations as these two models continue to compete and influence global trends. 8. The Big Question. This book has explored a central idea, the freedom paradox. We have seen that freedom is not just one thing, and it can mean very different things to different people and societies around the world. In China, many citizens experience a strong freedom from fear. Cities are remarkably safe, and people often feel secure walking alone even late at night. This feeling of safety comes partly from the government's comprehensive surveillance systems, including many cameras and strict social order. There is also a remarkable freedom to build and innovate quickly. Businesses can develop new products and infrastructure, such as vast networks of high-speed railways, at an astonishing pace. Daily life offers another kind of freedom, a freedom from many small daily hassles. Super apps make paying for goods, shopping, and accessing government services incredibly easy and fast, creating a seamless and convenient existence. However, these particular freedoms come with significant trade-offs. In China, there are fewer political and personal freedoms compared to Western democracies. People do not have as much freedom of speech, and the Internet is subject to strict controls. Personal privacy is also greatly reduced because a huge amount of data about citizens is collected and monitored. So this brings us to the big question of the book. Is one kind of freedom inherently better than another? Is freedom from fear more important than the freedom to express your opinions openly? Is fast economic development and building infrastructure worth less personal privacy? There is no single or simple answer to these complex questions. Different people and different cultures often value different freedoms more highly. This exploration encourages us to rethink our fixed ideas about freedom. It asks us to look beyond our own perspectives, especially in Western countries, and challenge what we might assume about liberty. Freedom, as this book suggests, might have many more meanings and forms than we first thought. After reading about these diverse ideas of freedom, what kind of freedom do you personally value most in society?
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.